We're on Tvul Yom, Perik Bet Mishnah Chet, 8th Mishnah in the second chapter of Masechet Tvul Yom. So the Mishnah is going to talk about, we're talking about flows. It is a flow. When I pour water, remember we said if the flow is going downwards, it's not a connection, the flow is not a connection for Tumah. That if the Kohen touches the Tvul Yom, touches the flow, that's not considered a connection to everything else. So now we're going to talk about a different kind of flow, like water pressure or force of water inside a chavit. A chavit is a jug. Right, so you can just imagine a jug, and you have what's called a biabua, a bubble in the chavit. You have a bubble in the wall of the chavit. Let's look at the Bar Tanura. He's going to explain it pretty clearly. When you make an earthenware vessel, bikivshan, when you fire it in the oven, so in the walls of the earthenware vessel, it has little bubbles. It has the bubble has two walls. One towards the inside and one towards the outside. Okay, and it's hollow in the middle. Sometimes that bubble has two holes. One and one on the outside. So you have a jug. You're now looking at a cross section of a jug, and we're gonna see what you have. It has so sometimes this is just obviously a crude illustration. A drawer, I'm not, but you get the idea. So you have, it formed a bubble in the wall of the chavit, and it has, sometimes it has holes, one towards the outside and one towards the inside. We're going to focus on, in our Mishnah, we're going to focus on these holes, what happens in these particular holes. Let's go back to our Mishnah. The Mishnah says, if you have a bubble in the jug, shenikav, then you have a hole in the bi'abua, a hole in the bubble, bein mi bifnim, bein mi bachutz, bein mi lamala, and bein mi lamata. It's really interesting. I'm not sure if there's a parentheses there in the Kahati. There wasn't a parentheses. We're going to have a look at the Girsa. Okay, whether it's above or down, whether it's inside or outside, above or down. So if the holes in the bubble are parallel, right? Parallel, one parallel to the other. Tamei be'avatuma v'tamei be'oel hamet. Tamei be'avatuma means if an avatuma touches the liquid on the outside, it makes the whole thing tamei. And if it's in oil hamet, if this jug is in an oil hamet, the tumah can enter into the jug, and all the wine is tameh. Let's okay. Here we have exactly this case. So I'll zoom in a little bit in my crude drawing. So here if the liquid, if this thing is full of wine, so then the water is flowing outward. The pressure is causing. These are not big holes, obviously they're tiny holes. So therefore, the water is dripping outward. Nonetheless, it could be dripping inward. So therefore, if it's zeh, one to the other, if the Kohen touches here, is tamei be'avatuma, and avatuma makes the whole thing tamei. And it's also, if this whole jug is in a tamei house, it's tamei with the oil atuma. The Gati explains that it's not just avatuma. It's all, obviously we're talking about the Masechet Tvul Yom. Tvul Yom, the rule applies as well. And the reason we're talking about avatuma is because in the last part of the Mishnah, we're going to have a kula that applies even to avatuma. Hapnimi milimata, vachitzon milimala. If the inside one is down and the upper one is above, the outside one is above, tamei be'avatuma b'tamei be'ol hamet. Okay. So therefore, again, if here the inside one it's this one, the inside one is above. Pnim in the mala, and the upper one is down. I think that's what we said. Let's go back to the Mishnah, right? The other way, I'm sorry. Pnimi milimata v'chitzin chonton milimala. Here we go, this one. Pnimi is down, and the upper one is up. If the Kohen touches it, the tumah can enter, somehow the flow. I'm not exactly sure why, honestly. It'd be interesting to think about why that is. The flow over here, this here, if the Kohen touches the water, touches the wine that's coming out here, the whole thing is tamei. But the Mishnah says, on the last case, apnimi milimata, and if the inner hole is milimala and it's up, it is confusing. Vachitzon milimata, and if the inner one is up and the outside one is down, then tahor be'avatuma. So in this case, if the avatuma touches the outside, it's tahor, but still v'tamei be'ol hamet. If the inner one is up and the outside one is down, then if the avatuma touches here, that causes a negative flow here. A flow outside, not a flow flow moving outside. Here, I guess the flow would be inside, even though there's pressure on the inside. I'm not really sure why. The Mishnah doesn't explain why that is. Okay, but nonetheless, I'll show you the Bar Tanura in a second. Here, if the Kohen touches here, he does not make the rest of the jug, the whole jug, tamei. But in an oel amet, the oel amet, the tuma does flow if you're in an oel amet. Okay, why? The Bartudura says, okay, here, but and if the inner hole is on the top, and the outside one is below, yes, it's true that in an oel amet is tamei. Why that in an oel amet the tuma flows in through the holes nonetheless, as a Mishnah says about Tudura, but avatuma miyatar. If it's a case of avatuma, it's tahor. The im naga avatuma b'mashkin shebenekev achitzon shebabiabua milematan. If the avatuma touches the hole on the outside, me'achar shapnini milemalan. Since the pnimi is above, the inner one is above. I like nitzok. It's like, remember the nitzok, it's like a flow. Kitapres. Kitapres is an angle, a downward flow. V'lo avichibor, and it's not a chibor, and therefore it's not tamei. All right, we'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.